Okay, so in the second video on rates, we're going to convert rates into different rates, but there's still going to be rates. So for instance, we've got that running speed one because that's not a bad example of something in practice. So if you run 7 meters per second, what would the rate be as meters per minute, meters per hour, or kilometers per hour? Okay, so that's an example of converting the rates into different rates. Okay, so I'm just checking to see if I've done this on the next slide already. Yeah, okay, so we're going to do this, they're going to do these answers on the next slide. So just remember, rates are comparisons of things that are different. So these things are different. Okay, so we've got a rate and we're going to change the rate to a different rate. Okay, so coming across to the next slide. Okay, so in the first one that we're doing, we're going to convert it into meters per minute. So I'm changing the back. So seconds, I'm going to change to minutes. Okay, so just remember that when you've got meters per second, it's meters per 1 second. And if you've got a minute, then you've got 60 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the back number by 60. But if I multiply the back by 60, then I've got to multiply the right by 60. Okay, so then once I've got 1 times 60 seconds, then I have a minute, which is the rate I want. And then on your calculator, 7 times 60 is 420. So if you run 7 meters per second, you're going to run 420 meters per minute. Obviously, it makes sense that every second you're going to get further along. Okay, in the next one, I'm converting the back unit again, so I've got hours. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the previous answer. So I've got 420 meters per minute, and 1 hour is 60 minutes. So to turn minutes into hours, I've got to multiply by 60. But if I multiply the back by 60, I multiply the right, the front by 60. And then 1 times 60 minutes is an hour, which is the rate I want. And on your calculator, you end up with 25,200 meters in an hour. And in the last one, I want to convert the front. And what I do is I use this answer and bring it down. And then the hours is okay, but I've got to turn meters into kilometers. And that is happening by dividing by 1,000. So on one of my later slides, I'll give you all the conversion numbers again. But to convert meters into kilometers, we divide by 1,000. And on your calculator, or just moving the decimal place, you get 25.2. So can you copy that down and come across when you're ready? Okay, so let's look at another couple of examples. Okay, so water drips at 2 litres per hour. So you've got a leaking tap at home, and we need to work out how many millilitres per second that dripping tap is burning up. Okay, so what we have to do is we've got the front unit's going to change and the back unit's going to change. So we just do it in small steps. Okay, so we've got 2 litres. Again, I'm going to give you all the conversion numbers on another slide, but 2 litres is 2,000 millilitres. So now I've got 2,000 millilitres per hour, and so the front unit is now in the right spot. And then to go from hours to minutes, you divide by 60. Okay. So if you've got 2,000 millilitres per hour, it's going to be 2,000 divided by 60 millilitres per minute. And then on your calculator, so we've got to go all the way to seconds. So we can't go from hours to seconds. We're doing small steps. So from hours to minutes, divide by 60. So we've got 33 1/3 millilitres per minute. And then to go from minutes to seconds, divide by 60 again. Okay, so we end up with 0.56 rounding millilitres per second. So that's how much the tap is dripping. Okay, so we'd have to do it in small steps. We got the millilitres sorted out really quickly, but to get to seconds from hours, we had to go to minutes, and then we go to seconds. Okay, but again, I'll show you a quick conversion in the next slide. Okay, moving along. Copy that and move along. Okay, so here's some useful conversions in the metric system and also in time and things like that. So if you can copy that down and come across when you're ready. So on Moodle, that same worksheet, we're looking now at question 2, which is converting rates. Okay, see how you go with that.